speed round. It's very late in the day. Thank you. I'm glad I look very tired. I didn't sleep very well. I blame the accommodation. Slow round.
I got the bits. Right, okay, so, right, well, for Epsilon, we have KnoxXx, Shintaz, Snakewater, and Shintaz. So, for Decerto, we have Star, Crouton, Snyyppis, okay, Spin, and Jakle.
So, if you didn't hear our conversation earlier, Decerto actually finished runners-up in Division 1 in E2F2L last season. So these guys could be the ones to watch. These are probably the lowest, take this in a complimentary way, the lowest seed of the good teams. So these guys are sitting bottom of the tree of the higher teams here, I think, this weekend. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. The lower of the top seeds.
So, the winner of this game, though, just to confirm, they will go top of the group. So they will have the favourable draw in the next round. What happens is that I think what we're doing is actually top 3 this year. So we're having a round of 32. Is that right? I think we're having a round of 16, but I heard that third place is also going through to the knockout stages. I have to double check, but we will see. Tapley, help me out here wherever you've gone. He's not here. In the meantime, let's talk about charity raffles. So we are having a charity raffle this weekend. This is in remembrance of one of our community members called Youngblood, who passed away from cancer this year. We are raising money on Just Giving, as also we are doing a charity raffle if you are at the event, I'm afraid. So if you're willing to donate, please, by all means, go to our website, www.VanillaTV.org, and the links are all there. If you are at the event, please come and see one of the VanillaTV staff or Beta, and £1 a ticket, and we have a great range of prizes being provided by IAMA, Blimey, Thermal Take, Cooler Master, Dignitas, TCM Gaming. We've got a whole good bunch, and all the details can be found on our website. And, you know, it's all on Facebook and Twitter as well, so just stay tuned on there. Really great prizes, and we've raised, so far, I think about £150, which in about 6 hours is pretty good work.
Yeah, definitely. I like the prizes.
I want them on it. If you win, we're redrawing, by the way.
Yeah, I think I might buy some tickets.
I've already won this weekend.
If I win any of the prizes, then they'll get thrown into some other competition here at the event. But I might not just take crap tickets. Or work for me.
Still waiting on a couple of the Epsilon players to join. This has been slightly delayed, I'm afraid, because they finished their other game late, and you know what players are like. They go for a smoke, they go for a beer, probably. Go to the bathroom. You know what it's like. You know what it's like at home. Get a drink, whatever. But we actually have 12 players on the server, Arx. We have 12 players on the server.
So hopefully this game will be starting soon. It is getting quite late into the night, so I imagine the players will want to get this over and done with, so they can either hit their beds or hit the bar, whichever takes their fancy.
So who's our money on then? Right, who's the crowd's money on? No, which team? Extremer, you reckon? We can follow Extremer to mid if you want to. I figure out what button he is. Not that one. Not that one. Yeah, there we go. So, who are we going for, Arx?
I have to go with Epsilon. I mean, it's the easier choice, but I mean, I kind of tip them to win the tournament. Just a heads up on that one. Decerto, they are a good team. I haven't seen them yet play this tournament. It'll be interesting to see. And also, I think the map might be very interesting for them, but I still have to go with Epsilon, I'm afraid. What about you?
Who's it you went for, sorry?
Epsilon. Do you think that Decerto could steal it?
No, I don't think so, I'm afraid.
Do you think it's going to be close for a roll?
I think it'll be a good sign of how Shintaz is playing, so maybe we'll try and follow him. I don't know, I think it'll be maybe like 5-1 or something. 6-1.
I mean, look at that Epsilon lineup. Just take a look at that. Shintaz gear, Knox, Epsilon, Stefan. That is an insanely powerful lineup.
And ready, we are. I thought we were ready to go live then. What do you think? So here we are ready to go live. This is VanillaTV with Arx and Beta bringing you Epsilon Gaming versus Team Decerto, Snakewater, final game of the group stages, and Arx running you to middle.
Okay, so they're already in middle. It does look like Epsilon Scout has pushed over quite aggressively. Soldiers are up on the point. Soldiers jumping. Epsilon stepping up the pressure now. Soldiers both jumping simultaneously. Stark and Snyyppis goes down. In return, though, Gear and F2 gets taken down. So no medic for Epsilon at the moment. They still do have players alive and on a lot of health. And I mean, only a Demo Man and a Scout. If Decerto can keep that Scout alive, nope, their medic's gone down. And, well, only the Demo Man left. He's weak. He's going to be forced to retreat. It's not really worth him going back in because the medic's already down. He might as well just stay up ready for the next push. But actually having a look at this, he was peeking in to see if he could get some damage, but well, Epsilon are going to be taking this mid fight. Yeah,
War actually deciding to stay out there, may as well stay alive. Like you said, F2 went down nice and early, so I expect them to have a big advantage, and they do have a big advantage. It's already at 40% difference. So Decerto are going to have trouble holding this train here, Arx, and they might have to defend from up top. So up on that upper area, that's probably the best choice right now. But will they do it? We'll never know. They're standing by the choke point. War just piping over. Rockets coming in onto one of the spam points, as you would expect. Knox just peeking round as well, just to see if he can get a pick. Goes high and flying after that soldier. Soldier retreats up to the upper area as well. Knox going really aggressive, actually. Uber has been triggered, so they're going to come in. Medic takes a big rocket. Another big rocket goes flying. He's so weak. Can Knox get the shotgun kill? He does get the shotgun kill. So Medic goes down. 3 players down for Decerto. And Epsilon taking the train area really easily.
Yeah, that was a great push by Epsilon. They read the situation, realized they could get in and behind the combo, and basically just trap them. And it meant they also left one Scout capping the point. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch.
1-0.
Yeah,
1-0. 1-0. So 1-0. 2.5 minutes gone, and we thought this was going to be a close one. Maybe we will see. Let's just see the route that Extrema takes to middle at the request of our Australian fan base. So Extrema just sticking back from the point. Random stickies over to the far right corner towards the med pack, of course. No one's really gone hard flying in this time, Arx. It seems like a little bit of a stalemate.
But you wait, Epsilon soldiers always do this simultaneous jumping. They both wait for an opportune moment. It's almost like it's rehearsed. But I think this time Decerto dealt with that quite effectively. Soldiers then retreated to allow their Demo Man some time to get some damage across. They obviously jumped when he was reloading. I think it's coordinated like that. Uber is about, well, it's done for F2. There is only Stefan and F2 alive, though. They might still fancy this with that, just that combo, because it would be fighting against the Scout, Medic, and a Demo Man, but well, they've opted to just go with the rest of their team when they arrive, and so Decerto taking this mid.
And would you have seen Stefan go in for that online, the power of Stefan online? One of the better Scouts.
I think, I mean, if there was another player alive, he might have gone in just to maybe see if he could get the medic or something, but because he was the only one, he was needed to protect his medic, because, well, he didn't know exactly where the other Scout was, and I think he had to stay in. Anyway, they are now pushing this 4th point. Demo Man's in a great position to trap off the Epsilon Scout, and Demo Man up here takes one of them down. The Demo Man Scout did manage to sneak a health pack, and now the Uber's actually been popped for Decerto. F2 went down. No, he didn't. Sorry, he's just not got any Uber time. That was odd. But Epsilon in trouble here. Looks like Decerto, with their medical life and all their players, they will be pushing forward to this last, taking advantage of the fact that Gear and Extrema are both down. They're coming over into last. Soldiers jumped across to try and put some pressure on Knox. Knox in a great position up top, but he's almost weak. He's going down. Medic's also taken down. I think Decerto might get this, but Stefan and Extrema, can they hold on to this? There's only a Demo Man and a medic left.
What on earth? Look at the time on the point. You can't even get much closer than that. 6 players down for Decerto. Gear comes in and cleans up. I mean, what on earth? That is probably the closest I've seen it since TLR versus Weapons of the Rebellion in I-34.
Yeah, very close, and Decerto not going to be too happy with that. However, there isn't really an opportunity for Epsilon to push right away. I guess they could take them by surprise.
They're running heavy though. Shintaz running heavy. It's going to slow it down.
They also have Stefan running as a sniper, so maybe if they can get a medic pick. Oh, Crouton goes down. That's only a Scout though. Let's see if Stefan can get another shot in. He's been spammed out by the Demo Man. I think there might be too much pressure, but actually Decerto getting intimidated here, falling right back, and that's just going to open up the door for a sniper to get those picks.
As he says that, Arx, he went and switched, I'm afraid. So he spoiled it for you. We're just following Streamer again to make sure no one can come through that main entrance, top right entrance. Start goes down, so that's one of the scouts. One of the more recent additions to the Team England setup, actually.
Blitzkrieg's come in, but F2 drops the Uber. Initial sticky through the door. He did not see that coming. We didn't even see that there was a crits coming in. But now Decerto on the front foot. Heavy is still sitting on last of Shintaz. He's full health at the moment. There's only a demo man who gets taken down. Epsilon defending this well. Still with Shintaz at full health. Running out of Heavy. There's one soldier dealing a bit of damage to him, but they just don't have enough glasses alive to take him out. And they're going to have to pull back. And, well, Epsilon might see this as an opportunity to push. We'll see if Shintaz is going to go back and change the scout. The Heavy suggested there he's intending on staying in last while the rest of the combo see if they can get outside and do some intimidation. But I think Decerto have just got too many players there, and Epsilon are going to stay on their last.
Yeah, again, we see the great defense of Epsilon on Snakewater. I've never seen many teams beat them, actually, on their last when they're like that. It seems to be that Heavy and Sniper combo seems to work really well for them. They don't always seem to be push out, but if they get a wipe, they push out really quickly, which is the difference. So it'd be interesting to see if Decerto do manage to break them down. They were so close. It'll be a shame if they don't at least get one round. But we are only 7 minutes into the game.
They are still on Blitzkrieg, I might add, and they are leading the way in with the demo man. However, F2 with his Uber up, and it is a regular Uber. It's all going to come down to his initial sticky. Soldier did have a view on him, but the medic wasn't about to crit him, and he did get taken down by Extremist stickies there. So that's one pick. If they've got a sight of that medic and they've seen that he is running a crit, they might just think, hang on a minute, we could just Uber into them and then, well, make a push. They can't really do anything with their crits.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come in, Arx, so I stayed on war for a second for the stickies, but they've just fallen back. They're trying to bait Epsilon a little bit forward, but they're pretty too clever for that, I'm afraid. They won't probably overstretch, especially if they want to try and get the wipe, really, because they know that it's so hard to push out this last point on this map. So both teams, well, as we said, Spin is running that crits, and F2 still running his Uber. They're going to come in from the below. Here comes the crits. Crits 1, 2, 3, all misses, and Uber has been triggered. Soldier comes down, takes down Spin and War. Great play by a combination of Extreme and Nox, and here comes that wipe I was talking about. 3 players down. Will Decerto manage to get out? Nox is already towards a train area. Time on point going up now as well. Nox comes in to clean up Jakle as well. So very briefly, 5 players down for Decerto, and yet again, Epsilon get out of their last point.
I would have thought that the Decerto scouts might have tried and harassed for a back cap, just tried to keep them on the back foot so that maybe they can hold that point. But, I mean, they opted to go back to middle and just play it from there. Now, Epsilon do have a small Uber advantage, but actually 20% or so when you talk about Epsilon, they come in as they get Uber. They're very efficient.
Yeah, they always respect. I've seen that. We always talk about that as well.
Like, yeah, look at it at the moment, they're 77% Uber, and they're already starting to make their way into middle, but they're not 100% committing to it yet. They'll have Uber just as they start to get into some sort of danger. So there we are. They're intimidating them back because Decerto realised that, or at least they think that they already have their Uber. Otherwise, why would they be pushing?
Yeah, maybe there was a fake or something. I can't hear the in-game sounds, but maybe we did hear a fake. So both teams do now have that Uber ready. Spin, of course, still back to running Uber. That's not had to do that because he went down. He wouldn't have had a chance against F2's Uber as crits. May have been close, but he would have needed a sweet sticky just to get that crits. And they're defending from the top, as you would expect. Are we going to see someone switch to Sniper or Arx? Maybe, maybe not. Let's just see what the scouts of Epsilon are doing at the moment. So Stefan still just running around as he stands still when I flick to him. Let's just see what Shintaz is doing as well, though, as I find him. Shintaz obviously returning to the game after an extended break. Probably more well-known to some of the older Tier 2 players, but great player in his time, and he's got back into the Epsilon setup box.
Okay, so yeah, they are defending up on this balcony area. It looks like Epsilon are going to be the ones making this push. Haven't 100% committed to it yet, but the scouts have gone quite far forward, and the scout is also pressuring medic. Pulls the Uber from F2. Decerto still holding on their Uber, but they've decided to push forward and try and intimidate Epsilon out of the point, and this is working. Devilman's jump very aggressive. He's out of range of his medic, though. He has managed to get a few pipes over onto the scout to force to retreat, and Epsilon actually look like they're going for a flank because they realise that they're pushing, well, at least the demo man was in the wrong direction along with the medic, and they're flanking now, taking down the soldier of Snyyppis, and they didn't, well, I think Decerto reacted quite well to get back, but they are a bit piped off here. The demo man's got them covered. This looks disastrous for Decerto here. Extrema goes down, F2 actually goes down, and, well, wow, they somehow managed to hold this with just the medic, demo, and scout. Epsilon's push failed.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. There was a great move to come around on the left-hand side, try and get behind them as they push through. We see that a lot on this map. But they've shut him down. Nox goes down. He was overextending. He was just on his own. Another soldier comes flying in. That's Gear. He went for the medic. He didn't go down. So Spin now, 80% Uber, ready to rock and roll on that midpoint. And Epsilon are going to have to give it up, Arx. They'll obviously give up the midpoint, that is. They won't be able to contest. But the scouts are going against what I'm saying. War gets taken down by Extremer and Stefan. And they've actually forced that Uber on that midpoint. So that's probably the best result for Epsilon there. They didn't want to be facing them on that second. They would have been put down to last. Snyyppis goes down by KnoxXx 2 as well. Backcap going on in the meantime. ×2. Is anyone going to go back? Spin's trying to force his soldier back with him, probably shouting at him to come back. And they have managed to come back. There is still a battle going on between Stark and Shintaz. And Stark prevailing this time. But they're still getting that time on the point, and it's invited Epsilon forward.
Yeah, that's it. I think just there we did have Nox jump forward. See if he could intimidate them a bit further back. It was actually Shintaz who went into the back half, did manage to take down one of the scouts. And that put Epsilon in a good position. They've got the Uber advantage, and I think they want to use it, but I don't know. They do have 3 players there, but it's just like they're lacking their scouts at the moment coming in. One scout's been isolated, and Medic didn't really get to him. Nox jumped over, onto an Uber combo, and that didn't really work out too much for him. And actually, one of the scouts is isolated. Shintaz again, I didn't believe, and F2 has decided to run back to middle with Stefan.
Epsilon are really lucky there. Their Uber was forced quite early over in that left corner. I don't really know why it was forced, but I think it was to save Extremer, F2 using it. But they managed to at least inflict some damage, and as we see, both double shoulder jump coming in yet again from Epsilon. They do this a lot. Gear gets taken down this time, but it has meant that Nox is on his own, trying just to fight off everyone. But as we've always found, the rest of the Epsilon team moving forward as a unit. 3 players down for Decerto now, and they've opted to fall back to that train Arx and obviously defend from up top.
Yep, so they are now making their way back in again. They do have an Uber advantage, a small one. I don't think it will come into play, but they are trying to get around as quick as possible. Nox did jump ahead of his medic a little bit there, but no, Decerto have got that Uber. They have, however, capped the point just with a bit of pressure. Uber's been forced from F2, and they're going to have to push forward with this and try and do something with it, but maybe the most they can hope for is to force this Uber out of spin. But he's not going to pop. Oh, Stark with a headshot over onto Extremer. That might pop into push.
No, they probably hold it, but he switched back to Scout actually, so you could be right. That you are right. They're coming out straight away. War doing the leading from the front this time again. Soldier comes up from below. Gear and Shintaz both get taken down. He forced the Uber. A good result again for Epsilon. They're going to have to hold that train Arx because they're not going to be able to get out without that Uber. F2, 70% already. And it's going to be, well, it's Epsilon's game now. They've held their last 3 times. Was it 3 times they held it?
Yeah, I believe it was. In that push, actually, Stefan was looking to go for a backcap, but it was well covered. But we've seen those backcaps happen so many times that I think it was definitely worth the shout from him. He did get out alive as well, so nothing was really lost. Now Epsilon do have this Uber advantage and are making their way through. Again, opting to just go very aggressive into them. But no time on the point because, well, their scouts just aren't there.
Uber has been forced, Arx. Uber was forced. They used it to get into that inner area. F2 has fallen back. Left Nox to fight his own battles. He hasn't gone down just yet. Counter Uber coming in from Decerto. They do not want to give up that train. 16 minutes remaining. Backcap currently going on. I believe that was Nox. Nox just got left alone, and it's again invited Epsilon forward. Shintaz onto the medic on the final point. Medic out with the Ubisoft, and Shintaz is going to get it. So there we go. 2-0 the score. 16 minutes remaining, and this is a little bit closer than we thought it would be.
Should we do a speed round?
Okay, fine. It's time for a cheeky speed round.
Okay, so now we do have both teams making their way over into middle. We have the demo round of Extreme. He is coming over through the choke point now. He's about to, well, it looked like he was going to do a jump, but he just sort of damaged himself with a sticky. And now the scouts are going over onto the point, pushing quite aggressively here. Soldiers just waiting for that double jump from the Epsilon soldiers now. There we go. One soldier jumps, but the other one got distracted a little bit by a scout. There is the medic of Decerto is running behind the house, hiding at the moment. He's a bit scared of this. He maybe should be up helping his team as quite a few of them are going down. We do have well, Stark's actually doing quite well for himself, but Epsilon now piling on the pressure. Still 6 players alive. They are going to be pushing over onto midpoint. We're now with ×5 on there. Pushing through already is the 2 soldiers from Epsilon, and well, it looks like Decerto are having to pull back.
As we now see Stark going forward as well. He gets taken down. Spin and the demo man of Watcher sitting up top. Stark, unfortunately, went most aggressive for Decerto, but he got taken down. As the soldier comes jumping into war as well, Gear gets taken down, and Decerto in big trouble here. Both teams have that Uber, so it's not really going to make a difference if they try and push. But will that pick make a push, Arx? Will that pick, as everything always slows down when I'm casting? So the Scout tries to come in as well. He gets taken down, so Crouton down. Will that prompt the push? Come on, I need something to carry on this speed round. I need something for them to push, but it's not going to happen. Nox is just jumping around, getting his ammo. Gear waiting to rejoin, so here we go. Surely just waiting for Gear to come forward and do the job. But Jakle sitting up top as well, waiting for someone to pick as they come around the corner. It looks like they're going to try this bottom route. Let's just see if we can flick to one of the scouts of Shintaz and Stefan. Here we go. So Shintaz coming into the point, focused down on the demo man. Medic there. Medic's focused out as well. He's fallen back into the corner. War still floating around. War goes down. Stefan gets taken down. Shintaz gets taken down. Stark respawning, coming back. Both Ubers been forced, and it's time to switch.
Okay, so we do have Extreme. He is jumping over with the Snickies. He's well, flying around. There's a scout actually dead matching over on the soldier. The soldier's trying to do what he can. It looks like Epsilon are going to have to pull back because there's a heavy up on the point and there's nothing really going to touch him, but the soldier is trying to find the other soldier. He actually gets taken down. His body, his head fell under a little pillar in a house thing. But it does, well, look like it's pretty quiet at the moment. I haven't even found a player. Okay, here we go. The soldier of Nox jumping over, taking the ammo crate, and now he's jumping back. I guess he's going back to join up with his medic and stealing all the health packs around the map at the moment. He's not building his Uber either, they really should be building it, but I guess he's building it kind of with rocket jumps now. So hopefully we'll see Epsilon make a push. They do have, yeah, well they do have a Uber disadvantage, so maybe Decerto, they will be the ones to make this push. They are behind as well, and there's only 13 minutes, 15 seconds remaining on this cap, so, well, on this map, should I say. And well, Epsilon set up with some sticky traps, maybe it's Decerto's time. They really need to start pushing, and they are moving the demo man up quite forward. Medic's also going to join him, so maybe they're just going with a medic, demo man, and a scout. Where are the rest of their team? They need to really come out with them. Surely they're not just going to force an Uber with just that. Soldiers are coming in from below. Demo man of Extremer has jumped away. He's half health. Scout is chasing him, putting a lot of pressure over onto him. Scout's out jumping, but he gets taken down. And back cap.
Stefan's on the back cap. Back cap, and there we go. So 3-0 the score. Wow, and apologies, that speed round went on for quite a while. That's the problem when you do speed rounds, you don't know how long the round is going to last for, and it sort of dies out. But we tried our best. So 3-0 the score, 12.5 minutes remaining. Ignore the team names, I've just noticed that. But Epsilon currently leading 3-0. The winners of this match will be the winners of the group and have the favourable draw in the next round. Arx, take us through this middle.
Okay, so as usual, Epsilon, this time Gear actually going a bit more aggressively. I guess they're feeling quite confident now. He's done a second jump over, trying to go over for this medic. He jumped into the wrong location. Now he's only left with his shotgun. However, he has managed to take down Decerto War there. But Decerto, just medic and scout alive. Epsilon, they've got enough players. They're just going to keep rolling forward. They only have one of their scouts, though, so it's going to take a while to cap this middle. And F2 just not touching it to get an extra millisecond on the gap for time there. But,
Extreme has gone forward already, Arx. He's already sitting on that train, just waiting for the rest of the team to catch up and obviously get that cap so he can get time on the point. Uber is ready for F2. Most importantly, that spin survived. So Decerto do have that Uber just waiting on last. Stark opting to run Sniper again. So we'll just stay with him for the moment to see if he manages to get picked. Opting to go down a little bit further down the right-hand side this time. He does get the scout down, so tiny gap there. Demo took a hit as well. Good job there by Stark, and he's probably just going to switch back because he's been called. But finally, we see some aggressive play from Decerto. They're going to use their Uber to come into the point. Demo man just saved by Spin there. He just got hit by a rocket and flew away, but it hasn't worked for them. They've come back. Most importantly, they have forced the Epsilon Uber though, Arx, and this is going to be a little bit of a stalemate while we just sort it, unless Decerto want to come back in with Nox and stepping down.
Well, they had Crouton in there, and no one had seen him over on the point. He was standing on the capture point, deathmatching a scout, and it took Epsilon ages to react to it. But that does mean that they've got 3 players down, as 2 of them went out to try and support him. And Epsilon with 5 players now pushing in. They need to keep these players alive, but there's a scout on the point, which means they need to jump down and block that. Now they're, well, susceptible to bait here, but the respawners have come in, and they managed to clean up Gear and Shintaz now. And this might prompt a push from them. I mean, time is running out. 10 minutes, 30 seconds, 2 rounds. Sorry, they've got to catch up 3 rounds if they want to take anything from this game. And, yeah, surely they need to push with this Uber that they've got now.
Yeah, F2, though, has his Uber Arc, so they won't be giving up easy. And Nox has come in. Nox has come in with F2. They did use their Uber. Nox trying to jump away, actually. He's just left F2 to sort it out himself, probably returning to the favour to F2 what he did to him earlier. But they're probably quite happy to come in and just delay it. This is more almost like Epsilon time, really, where you always see this. They're quite happy to slow the game down a little bit as Crouton is taking on one of the scouts head on. I'm not exactly sure which scout that is. It's either Stefan or Shintaz, but it's Shintaz. But Snyyppis taking down Shintaz in return. So Decerto have managed to get out of their last point, and they may be able to recapture this train. Just under 10 minutes remaining now, and this is the time as the soldier goes flying, misses the air shot. That would have been a great shot for the cameras, Snyyppis. Apologies that you didn't get it. But Jakle still flying around the bottom as well. Epsilon have come back in, Arx. Epsilon don't want to give up the train, and they're going to have a free run to last here. Let's just stay with Extrema. He's going to go jumping over, possibly. No, he's just going to stick it. I thought he was going to go jumping in. Scout comes in. Oh, nice play there. Got hit by the rocket and the pipe afterwards. So, this is Epsilon's game, really, now. This is Epsilon's time. They're just happy to delay it.
Yeah, it's actually F2's left back there to capture the point. No one else, well, one soldier did jump back eventually, but he felt that they probably could have pushed into last and taken that had they have left a different pass there, because they could have gone with their medic. But ultimately, they decided not to, and you're right, they're quite happy to just get in, force the Uber out of them, because then they know that Decerto can't push out unless they've got an Uber, or at least they'd struggle to. I mean, as you said before, it's a hard map to push out from your last one, but if you haven't got an Uber, then it's extremely difficult to push out from. So Epsilon now pushing in, they have forced that Uber out of them. Medic is also trying to run back up and meet up with the soldiers that has left Extrema, well, left for dead, really. And soldiers jumping across, but a good job keeping these soldiers. They've still got quite a decent amount of health. Knox. Oh, F2 gets taken down, actually. Only Stefan and Gear alive. He's getting deathmatched by the demo man here, and oh wait, Stefan on the point on his own. Oh wait, Stefan, are you going to taunt? No.
No, because it looked like Decerto were losing players quite a lot there. The game slowed down ever so slightly, but Epsilon still managed to clean it up. So 4-0 the score, just under 8 minutes remaining now. This is VanillaTV with Arx and Beta live from i46 all weekend, in fact. And looks like it's going to be a great competition, and Epsilon not disappointing their fans with a 4-0 score, maybe looking to make it 5 and wrapping up this game nice and early for a nice and early bedtime.
Well, yep, they want to make their mark on this game, 4-0, as they're pushing in, but it looks like whoa, so many of their players just went down in health, dropped down into the red. Spin trying to do what he can to keep them up alive, but he's only really managed to rescue his demo man. They're actually Stefan, the only one up at the moment. Just having a look to see if I can find whereabouts he is. He's hiding in a position where...
yeah, he's hiding just around one of the top right corners.
It's a good one. It's a good position as well. We are on Source TV, so even if they can hear us, there's 90 seconds. There he goes. Jump down onto the medic. Is he going to force his Uber? Spin is holding it like a boss. Oh, he had to use that Uber. This has prompted them to push forward aggressively, but, I mean, what can they do with this?
No, F2, 20% now. It would have been great if we saw F2 switch to quits or something. But when the soldier comes flying in gear, fail jump. They got rocked up in the air there. Snyyppis looking like he's going to come in as well. Demoman goes flying up as well. They do have that train. So, yeah, again, we're going to see Epsilon try and hold their last. They do have a slight Uber advantage, but I wouldn't expect them to push out. Just around 6 minutes remaining now. Let's see if we can see Decerto, Team Decerto, of course, get a point on the board. And I think that'd be worth the money to get a point on the board, Arx.
Oh, yeah, they performed well. It's just Epsilon, I don't know, their coordination is just amazing, really. They're and also their last defense, you said it earlier in the cast, how do you break a team like this down? I really just want to sit there and study exactly what all their players are doing, but I just feel it's different every time. It's just, I don't know.
Shintaz running Sniper, so they're not opting for the heavy. They have used their Uber to come into the point, start coming down onto Soldier, counter Uber by F2, and Decerto falling back very, very quickly. Streamer goes down courtesy of Crouton, but they kind of come back in. It's almost like a bait them forward and go back in, a la Epsilon almost. But Stefan, they're losing players, Epsilon, so they may suffer a point against them at the moment. Spin and the Demoman of War on the point, and there we go. So 4-1 the score. 5.5 minutes remaining. Could this be the tides turning? Are we going to see a tremendous comeback from Team Decerto in, well, 5 minutes?
It would be
We're going 5-4 the score? Is that even possible?
Anything's possible. Well, most things.
Anything's possible.
Right, okay, well, let's see if Decerto can carry this momentum on and get a closer score on the board. Are they going to be aggressive? Because time is against them, 5 minutes remaining. And yeah, they are pushing forward really well as a team here. Epsilon might be a little bit rattled, but the two soldiers have got the height advantage and are spamming down a little bit. Shintaz has gone down on Jakle, so Scout and a soldier respectively there. But Epsilon, have they got it under control? Two of their players are very weak. Stefan and Extreme was weak. Knox also weak at the moment, but I don't know, maybe Decerto will come in with this Uber just because of the clock. Demoman is coming in now. He's got a sticky onto F2, which has forced the Uber out slightly later, but I think Decerto are going to stay in here.
They've got to. I mean, they may as well. They've got nothing to lose. Spin goes down. Extremer taking down Stark and Spin, in fact. Stefan taking down more. So 3 players down for Decerto. They had to stay into the point arcs because they had no choice. Time Why not? What's the point? They may as well see what they can do. They may meet each other again later in the tournament, even though it had to be the final if it was, I think. I think that's how it works. Or lower bracket final.
Yeah, something along those lines anyway. But does it look like Epsilon are going to get another round on the board here? They do have a 30% Uber advantage, which, well, it is a significant one. On this map, it can definitely walk through the door 30%, within 10%. You're already on their capture point. Now, Decerto Stark is running Sniper again, and there are stickies on the opposite door to the one he's looking at, I think.
It's quite funny when you look up the defense. Yeah, some people like to sit back left, some people like to sit top forward. It's funny that Decerto always like to sit in that corner because it just invites soldiers to jump at them.
Yeah, you'd think they might get pressured there. Maybe if a demo man comes straight at them and pressures them back to the spawn, then how do they get back out to the capture point? You're not going to be able to take the long route through the spawn.
Oof. Oh, Stark shut down Knox there. Oh, that's what my reaction was at. So Gear gets shut down as well. They have used their Uber to save that ever so slightly. Epsilon 3 players down. There is time on point though. F2 dancing around Jakle's rockets, delaying a little bit. Shintaz still floating around the point somewhere. He's actually fallen back just outside. That's where Extreme is doing. Little nice secret sticky trap taken down by Stark's pistol. They are getting time back on the point. Shintaz onto Spin. Spin goes down. Has that allowed Shintaz to have free roam on to last? No, it hasn't. There is a soldier there. They have learned their lessons from earlier on. But the game is probably already over for Team Decerto. They're running Spy.
Yeah, definitely running Spy. Stefan was Spy, but he's death matching with a pistol at the moment. Good aiming. He did take down. I forgot who it was now. It might have been Demo Man, but that's about all he can really do with that. Now Decerto with just a medic and a scout alive. Scout has pushed out to try and fight a soldier and a medic combo. That's not one I would favour him to win. And now, well, Decerto are going to be stuck in their last 2 minutes, 11 seconds remaining, so I think the game is beyond them now. But maybe they can just hold on and still get another point on the board.
Yeah, F2, Uber at 70%, Spin only at 30%, so let's just see. We talk about it a lot where teams use that Uber, well, they have it ready as they're just walking in. Almost perfect timing. That is one of the differences between a lot of the skill levels. They will be ready to go the minute it's ready. So, let's just see if they do manage to do it this time. So F2, yeah, ready, 100%. He's used it as ready to come through the doors, just in case there are stickies. Spin does not have his Uber yet. Spin is only at 85%. War is sitting on the point, trying to lay down some fire, but it has cost them, Epsilon. Gear and Extreme and Shintaz all going down all at once. And Spin has that Uber now, so they probably saved it for save this point for another day. Knox and F2 looking like they want to try and fall out, but who is that soldier that got in behind? It was Snyyppis. And he did a good job. And actually, Epsilon, 5 players down, Arx. Even if we do have 1 minute and 30 seconds left, they did a good defense there.
Yeah, it was an excellent defense. Now let's see, they do have their Uber. Are they going to be able to make a push here? War has taken down Extremer, so on to middle goes the Uber combo. But they haven't popped the Uber. There is a scout on the back cap, however. And just having a look to see if who's that scout from Epsilon, if he can get some sort of block on middle. He hasn't really gone for it, and the whole Decerto team is there, and this is going to prompt them to push forward. 46 seconds left on the clock. F2 does not have an Uber to block blast, and he might only just about get it in time if he doesn't get taken down. So Decerto pushing forward now. Demoman's jumped up and actually jumped at the same time as the enemy soldier. Scouts are also on a back gap onto middle, and I don't think he's going to get anything in time, so he's having to come back. Sorry, it was actually a soldier. Soldier of Gear came behind. They've got 23 seconds left on the clock. Can they get into last with what they've got? F2 still no Uber charge and will not have one before the end of the game. So he is trying to, they are trying to make some sort of push. Scout coming round over onto Extreme and now deals with him, but he's got to fight a heavy medic and soldier, and they've got 7 seconds to do it. I'm an optimist, but that can't happen. But, heavy punches him.
Yeah, he went for the bat, but there we have it. So final score and the final game of tonight. 4-1 the score in favour of Epsilon Gaming versus Team Decerto. This is VanillaTV with Arx and Beta. That's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back in the morning, nice and early, for the round of 16. So this will be the winners and runners-up of every group. Thank you, and we'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Good night.